Find the absolute value of an integer. Using the number line, this number line which I'm going to draw here, I'm going to draw a number line here, and we're going to find the absolute value of an integer. We're going to explain what that means. Okay, so let me use numbers as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and infinite goes on both sides. Okay, now when we look at numbers here, we need to know what we mean by the absolute value of an integer. Very important for us to differentiate or know what we mean by absolute value of an integer before we continue with our process of integers. Okay, so let's look at two numbers. Let's look at -4 and +4. -4 from here is 4 units away. 4 units away. From here, +4, it is 4 units away also. Okay, so the absolute value of a number gives a distance between the number and 0. So in other words, here we write this definition: the absolute value of a number gives or is the distance the number and 0 on a number line, or on the number line. Okay, that's all it means. So the absolute value simply means tell me what's the distance. So regardless if it's -4, note it is still 4 units away. If it's +4, it is +4 units away. So that's all for the absolute value. The symbol for absolute value now. So what's the symbol? Symbol for absolute value, because there needs to be a symbol, otherwise we might get confused. The symbol is given by 2 vertical bars. 2 vertical bars. For example, we have the absolute value of -4. That will give us 4. Okay, this is read as follows: the absolute value of -4 is 4. Okay, and this tells us simply the distance that -4 and 0 on the number line is simply 4 units away from each other. Okay, so we can summarize that the absolute value of a number is the distance on the number line between the number and 0. Absolute value expresses distances. Remember that. Absolute value expresses distances. The absolute value of a number is always positive or 0. It never gives negative. So keep that in mind. So warning. So take this note. Warning. Absolute value, okay, expresses distance. Absolute value also of a number is always positive. Key point here, it's always positive or 0. It is never negative. So if you give me an absolute value which is negative, it means it is wrong. There's no way an absolute value can be negative. Okay, so let's try some examples. I'm going to call this now example 4, following from the other videos. All right, so now find the absolute value Okay, and we have here it positive, we have here b, which is -5 absolute, we have here 0 absolute, we have here 6, we have here. Okay, our strategy here is that we need to determine the distance that the number within the vertical bars, or vertical absolute value bars, is from 0 on the number line. Okay, so from here we can see that the absolute value of a number is the distance between 0 and the number on the number line. On the number line, the distance between it and 0 is therefore it. On the number line, the distance between -5 and 0 is 5. The distance between 0 and 0 therefore must be 0, and the distance between +6 and 0 is 6, and the distance between -4 and 0 is 4. That's all for absolute values.